You already know he's in the building. I want to thank my Heavenly Father, archangels, regular angels, ancestors, ascended ancestors, all light beings, all high vibrational beings, all divine beings, all dimension, timelines, portals, multiverse, parallel universe, the all in all, etc., to infinity fold. you know, we down to the wire. All the seers, all the tarot readers, all the oracles are doing their job diligently, you know, honing in their gifts and gaining prosperity for being who they are. No add-ins, no takeaways, and living in truth, living with integrity, living with, divine morals, and being that divine being that we are. I applaud all of y'all, even though it's unnecessary. But still, if you don't know, you're doing great things. You're doing glorious things, not just for ourselves, but for all of humanity and the generations to come. So be proud on that. If you want it with anything to have pride, I mean significant pride, will be that, even though we all will not, we'll stay humble, but it is a glorious blessing for the individuals that's, you know, on the backlash side, that's, paying for and, you know, atoning for the atrocities that, they have dished out because of their woundedness, their hurtness, their lack of understanding, which we all, are there in, our own ways. I still tell y'all, our Heavenly Father, He loves all of us, even in your ignorance or stupidity or, you know, straight downright rebellion. He can and will show grace if it's truly within us to recognize, to be awoken to oneself. Right? We all been focusing and worrying about, you know, outside distraction, outside noise, what somebody else have, what they have that we would like to have, and by us, focusing on all the different distractions that we allow to be distractions to us, we fail to cultivate ourselves, you know, build ourselves with a strong foundation, or destroy and reconstruct a real foundation, a sturdy monument of whatever, however you build it. The world that we live in, or the matrix that we live in, is crazy hard, especially if you don't have the right information to armor yourself and defend yourself against this living force that we are part of and is a part of us. Its job is kind of to be against us when we truly against ourselves, if we know it or not. There's 9 billion people on this, little speck of dust within the infinity of creation. Or at least that's what they say, because none of us really know. None of us actually counted every individual. And then even if you did, by the time you get to the last person, there's more individuals that came in and a lot that left. So who knows? But yet we want to talk about overpopulation, population control, and all this other shit. But that's not neither here nor there. But the real situation is we are disconnected from everything, but connected, right? If you're alive, you connected, but we disconnected from the information and the understanding of who we are, what truly is, you know, our destination on this planet or this speck of dust. We wasn't created to work a 9 to 5, slaving to survive, to make ends meet, and then never really achieve that, no matter how focused or how, life is funny. It, it does what it wants, when it wants, because we have chaos in us, period. We don't know harmony within us because all we know is chaos outside of us. Getting back to, the amount of people that so-called we have on this planet, I truly could say 97, 98% of it, we are soulless. We have no soul. And I know that's hard to, to hear. I know that's hard to say, but yet, there will be a lot of arguments. Like, that's stupid. Like, we all have souls. If we didn't have a soul, we wouldn't be living. In a way, that's truth, but you have heard about zombies, right? Zombies are real, not in the sense that in like The Walking Dead, what you call, but in spirit. And when your spirit is dead, you are soulless. And our spirit actually dies when we lose we lose that happy-go-lucky, optimistic, damn near fantasy outlook of our situation as we are younger, have no kids, no responsibilities except for just being us and maybe getting the education that we supposed to in this system acquire. But as life goes on, life gets serious when you still being that kid that, you know, that you are, no matter how old you are, for real, you're still a kid. We have people in history and legends of people in history living almost 1,000 years in good health. Scientists and, you know, that that world of minds will argue the fact that it was a different era. Everything was more pristine, fresher. The air was more pure. The the ozone layer was not not affected to the extent that it is now, and so on. But that's not true. The truth was those individuals was under God's grace, under God's mercy, under God's love, you know. And you don't hear, and you only heard of a couple. You didn't hear thousands and thousands of people, you know, in that same era living those numbers. Because if it would have been, it would have been recorded. Even if it ain't recorded in the scriptures, it will be recorded in history. Period. Right. So that knocks that out the box. Unless you could produce that information, that truth that says otherwise, and I doubt y'all be able to do it. But that's how we actually lose our souls, because as a kid, you actually being yourself. The things you would do, the things that you found funny, or you know, your whole attitude, your whole outlook, the whole thing about everybody is a good person. Everybody, because you was taught that you go to share, to play, to not judge, not we didn't do what you call it. We didn't look at when we was in, how you say, kindergarten or first grade. We didn't look at what your next person was wearing, if they had Jordans on or Nikes or Adidas or whatever clothes that was hot back then, or the expensive clothes. We wasn't looking at that, right? And we actually got along with everybody. If we didn't get along with them, we still interacted with them. 9 times out of 10, you didn't even know that you had a problem with somebody. 9 times out of 10, that individual had a problem with you, girl or boy, however the situation. And through growing up, the different, you know, backstabbings, the confusion of certain situations, that you don't know why it happened, but yet it happened and it affected you. However, it affected you, you know, through your parents, through your siblings, through your friends, through, the job, through everything, your relationships. Each time you got hurt, it left a wound, it left a scar. And a lot of us didn't truly understand that or know that, because, like I said, we kids growing up, we just living life, and however we taught that, however life goes, it's how it goes. You do what you deal with the good and the bad. If you're able to, get, have some type of luck or skill, you able to get yourself up out of whatever you in. But only thing you do is when you do, you happy, or you feel, you know better about yourself, but you go into a whole new bracket of the same shit. You didn't escape it. You just, so-called leveled up. Now we getting into spiritualism and religion in that same aspect. Because remember, I told you we lost our soul, or a lot of us don't have our soul, but we can reclaim it by going to our God constantly, being in the Word, being in high vibration, positivity, being inquisitive, searching. He says, "Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall open." Um, information, knowledge, understanding of the information is the true wealth of everything. Second to you, to us, because we generate or we receive, or it's actually we receive, but it's while receiving, we generate it, like how music, the stereo receives, but yet the music get pushed out through the speakers. It's basically the same thing. When you doing it from a pure state, from a loving state, from a caring state, for others, because I'm one of them that have been doing that for others, even though I do love myself, truly love myself in all, in all being, but not recognizing that I was loving others more than I was loving myself, which I still don't have an understanding of that because I do love myself. I understand that I didn't focus on the things that other people focused on or held in high, high priority in their lives for whatever reason. You know, I know I'm strong in some things and lack in others, but just like all of us, the reason why we lack or lacking in whatever we lacking is because we might not realize what we looking at or what needs to be looked at, or we feel it's too hard. We it's just something that we don't want to do. Just like how the cell phones, when they turned into the touch screens, the elderly, or even in my generation, or uh, uh, you know didn't feel comfortable with it. Just like with the computer, for everybody had computers, and still to this day. Now you know how long computers been around. I still want to tell you, everybody right now still don't have a computer, or is computer savvy as what society is supposed to be or claimed to be. Um, it's real, but reclaiming your soul is loving yourself and loving everybody as yourself. And if you're not putting that love that you feel that you have, that you so strongly give to whoever you decide or is giving it to, and not getting it in return, not equally. You need to get out that situation, even though it might leave another scar, but it's beneficial to you because you're showing that you truly love yourself. You know you deserve better. You know you will have better, no matter what situation or how it's looking, how old you are, whatever. It's whatever's keeping you there. It's a fear. Whatever is keeping you there is you feel you need help or you need to be a part of something more than you. But if it's not feeding you like you feeding it, if you truly know that you taking the short end of the stick in any relationship or all your relationships, this might hurt, but it's time to look at you. Not saying that there's anything wrong with you, but what you need to fix so these things don't happen no more. You don't like experiencing what you experience, and 9 times out of 10, it's the same shit, but in a different body or a different scenario, but it's basically the same shit. And this is what we all going through because of lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, lack of being a true collective, a true community, a true worldly collective. What happens over in Africa or Australia or Canada or anywhere in the world that's far from where you at. Whatever happens over there affects us if we know it or not. Whatever happens over here affects them if we know it or not. We all on this planet. If we polluting the planet on here and we destroying the ozone layer on this side, even if they ain't doing it on that side, it will eventually deteriorate to that side and vice versa. If we all working at it as a unit, all working for the same cause, reducing whatever we need to reduce and replenish whatever we need to replenish, it will be beneficial for all. This is the collective. This is the conscious, the Jesus consciousness, Christ consciousness, source consciousness, absolute source of all knowledge, all wisdom, all capability. And we are allowed to tap into it. We are a part of it, but because we don't have an understanding that we're able to start controlling, truly mapping out your life, but in co with the creator. If it it doesn't happen, it's because you ain't ready for it, or it's not meant for you. You know, it's not meant for you. But 9 times out of 10 is that you want what you want, but you ain't ready for what you want. There's rules, there's levels, there's learning in areas that you might not even think apply to that situation. That once it's done and accomplished, whatever you was working for falls in line. You know, just like building a house. First, you got to dig out. You know, dig the basement, dig out. The ground, hone out the ground. Put your your support beams and everything else to what you call to set the foundation deep in the earth, and then maybe throw the concrete what you call it, and such a say, and so on. Then, from there, after you do all that, you got to go to start making the top level. You lay that floor over the foundation, then start, putting up bricks for, to outline the shape of your house, the design of your house, and so on. But if you ain't doing the process, which I might have skipped some shit. I'm just talking generally, not talking, expertly. Each one of these things have to be performed before the next. And if these things ain't done, there's a flaw or it don't get finished. We all know this. Even if you don't, build houses, or, but this is with everything in life. The things that you was taught, and you had to learn certain things to get certain, outcomes and so on. This is where he says seek knowledge first. Seek God. Knowledge is God, especially when all knowledge is God. For real, don't discriminate on the knowledge for the simple fact it fills in the gaps. And then when you know all, or both sides of a certain of the coin, you actually sitting in the middle and you have understanding of all. You don't have understanding of one side. And to have understanding of all is the best side to be on, because you know how to navigate between the both, or bring the both in harmony. Another part of that is, opening up your chakras, the meditation, and so on. These are all things that have been here for eons, but as a necessity. Each civilization got their own, their own mixture of whatever they got a mixture of, and how what happens over in Russia, how they handle their shit or do whatever they do is not the same how it happens over here in the States. Even in the United States, through every state or every county or whatever city or borough, there's fucking different laws for the same shit. Like, confusion, right? It don't make no sense when all of us, I have to move to a certain state because they have certain laws, so I'm able to do what e- evidently is legal in on the planet, but yet I gotta resurface myself. And then say you did do that, if you go say I wanted to, I want to grow weed, or something like that. I can't grow bushes and shit in my house because they'll be kicking in my shit, or okay. So I moved to go over there. Now I'm able to do that. Hip hip hooray! But yet I didn't look at none of the other laws that I might be used to or cool with it where I just came from, and because it's embedded in me, it's already taught to me. I'm over there doing it, being me. But yet I'm catching hella flack because their laws is different from what I understand or accustomed to. And there's so many different laws that, so you have to find a state with everything which you want because it's designed like that. I'm telling you, it is so funny. It is funny the game that our so-called hierarchy play because they know the truth, but yet they play the game how the dark ones up there is playing the game, or the ones that's behind the scenes that have that real money that you know could change a person's life, and that person is like, fuck everybody else. My life has changed. That was the whole girl goal period. Ooh, this is the training that they have us in. That's the training. That's the training. That's the whole fucking propaganda programming. MK Ultra, Blue Beam, and every other dark shit that they have running in all governments throughout the motherfucking world. Another thing I want to tell y'all, all these Russia, if you call China, if you go, United States and all the others, all those leaders work with each other. All those leaders have what you call have dinners with each other, family dinners. They know their whole family, you know their whole family, but yet there's chaos and war going on between our people, between our nations, but yet we cool. How are we cool, but yet we can't make everything cool for everybody else? Which that is appointed our job, period. That's why we sit in those positions because we claimed that we will do or strongly fight for what's right. Then get up there and not bashing nobody because I truly understand. Get up there, get comfortable, you know, because they allow you to get comfortable because they gotta help set the illusion to the people and you that the system work like how it's supposed to work. And then let you get comfortable, let you get settled in, let you make, you know, strong moves. You know, now that you actually sitting where you at, it's time to get real. That individual gonna look like, what the fuck you talking about? Such and such, such and such. Like, ain't this shit real? Have we been doing this shit real? Well, between individual that isn't what the accusations are, what they painted out to be. But by me speaking and telling you, waking y'all back up to, you know who you are, you know the wickedness you do, you know the crowd that you hang around, that you call friends or you call allies. You really think they ain't doing it to you? And you know you doing it to them. Whoever really heard that, woken up, and they started digging for themselves to see the truth. Because, being prideful, being cocky, being blind to who you are and what your value, who you truly believe in, you truly enjoy. The fact that I was around you, that's a beautiful thing. It's the fact that you learn a truth for yourself instead of taking my word for it or the other individual word for it. So pat yourself on the back. You learn something. And if you didn't do it, then God bless you because you're still blind, you're still ignorant, and it ain't me on the line. It's your ass. So I took myself serious. And I got no fight in that no dog in that fight at all. I'm just being my brother's keeper, my sister's keeper. That shepherd that we all are. We all shepherds to each other, especially to the ones that's closest. That's what I think. Those individuals that actually innocently started thinking that they're friends, and hopefully they'll go even further and start thinking that you, the real you, the you that you truly want to be, but out of fear and loneliness, feeling that you have no backing, you join. You say, if I can't win, join me. Can't beat them, join them. I say, I can't beat them, fuck them. Say that. Am I the Billy Badass of the world? No, but I give it up like the best of them. I rise to the occasion. And if it's equal, oh my God, if it's equal, if whatever they have, I have, that's not a fair fight because I can't lose. It's fair. And if it's fair, I don't see the loss. Even if I did lose, I don't see the loss for the simple fact that it was a fair fight and may the best man or woman win. We agreed and we did the damn thing. But nah, y'all tough guys ain't like that. The tough guys are tough when y'all feel y'all have the upper hand or y'all do have the upper hand in the situation or you have multiple backings if you are losing to either jump in or get you pulled up out of your situation. but yet y'all tough, and then y'all come for the so-called weak ones. And it's funny how you will call somebody weak or feel that they weak, and they standing in the world, the entire world, by themselves, and they ain't giving a fuck. They're not attacking nobody. They ain't bothering nobody. They living their life to the best of their capability. How dare you? Everybody want to call people pussy, but who's the real pussy? We so pussy, we don't even want to look at our hurt, our own wounds. We don't want to remember. We don't even want to fix, because if they was fixed, we wouldn't have no problem with remembering it. If you truly fixed it, if it truly wasn't a wound, it truly wasn't a problem, it truly didn't affect you. You know, at the end of the day, even if it did, but once you healed that wound, it didn't affect you. Because if it presents itself again, it can't. Because you remember it. And also you won't let it get as far as it did for it to be a scar or a wound. Go in your shadow, remember what you don't want to remember. Face them, release them, start anew. Remember the good old days of your dreams, your outlook, how you wanted your life, how you thought your life was going to, come through, no matter how old you are now. And start, you should be in a better place, financially. If you're not, just know God is with you and He will make a way when you start truly being you, being the real you, being the you that you have always wanted to be, that you always was, but put a mask on to appease other masks. I have never wore a mask. I have never faked a funk on anything at all, truly. And the ones that, you know, doing the spells work, that's real efficient in their craft or in their belief, because, whatever they believe happened, and now this strong belief that they have in themselves has always been, it's falling short. And there's only one reason why. It's because the person or I am not who whoever you believe claim to be, claiming to be. And I don't care if everybody on the planet is saying it. Be around me, experience me, and then truly say the same. And if you do, you know you're a liar, like all of them, because you truly didn't experience that. But if you repeat what they said, it's because you're pussy, and you don't want all those people, the whole world, that's against one individual, and that's hypothetical, but at the same time, it's real. And because of that, you jump on their side because you don't want to be a part of somebody else's war. If you didn't have to be a part of it, only thing you had to do is just say, I don't know what y'all see or what y'all going through, but that individual never did anything to me. And if he speaks or she speaks, I will speak. If we have a relationship, we will have a relationship because I'm me. Like, what my relationship with whoever got to do with you? You know how many motherfuckers I don't deal with that you deal with? Am I mad about that? Should I be mad about that? Should I be able to tell you, oh, don't fuck with Sharon because if you call, because you know, because I don't deal with her, or don't mess with Jack because if you call, I don't fuck with Jack. I became that special in everybody's eyes where I could just dictate to them their life because it don't revolve around my life. Do that sound right? But a lot of people were doing it. A lot of people were doing it unconsciously too. But the ones that truly know are the worst of the worst. And by you being hardened like Pharaoh or being rebellious like how you are against not just me, but your God, your goddess, your creator, not even God, all creation. That's basically who you going up against. Especially when you going up against somebody that honors, cherishes, sees everything as sacred, everything, even the knowledge that I don't have is sacred because it has meaning, it has substance, it has life. Y'all not ready for what I got to give. A lot of y'all ain't ready what I got to give, but your spirit does. It hears it, but your mind is in denial. But you're already infected. You already compromised. You already being rebooted without knowing that you're being rebooted. As long as you have chaos or confliction, anything I have to say, whenever you hear me say it or anybody else say it, it's doing its job. You basically a firewall trying to stop a hacker. But this hacker is not coming from the outside. This hacker is coming from within. I'm not touching it. I'm not hitting no keys. I'm not in this, in the modem or the RAM. I'm not in none of that. I come from the source. The source is in everybody, and that's what's working. That's what's working with you. That's what's rebeating you. That's what's kicking your ass right now. That's what's making you remember all the heinous, fucked up shit that you accomplished and got away with. Mind is all, with one perception, one understanding, one person goal focus is achieved. Claim your souls back. Come back to integrity. Come back to morals, divine morals. Come back to integrity. Come back to being a being you, not for anybody else, for you and for your highest good. When you work for your highest good, if you don't speak to another person on the planet for the rest of your life, just because you are seen in the radiance and the purity that you just walk in, regenerate, reprogram, alter the vibrations and all of creation. That's what high vibration is. That's what divineness is. It's a high resonance of respect for oneself and a respect for everything ever created and to seek understanding of all, to understand oneself. And once you understand oneself, you understand everybody else. Even if you don't know the whole story, even if you could, they throw, you know, extra shit or leave out shit, you would know without knowing because you know yourself deeply. You know your God deeply. You know your goddess deeply. And when you know all that, you know all of all of creation. And if you don't, you seek that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding, and receive it in respect, humility, and in awe. Because once you ingest it, it becomes part of your belief, it becomes part of your program. And it happens at ease, unconsciously. When you know, and it's not, you gotta keep on trying. You already know, so why are you trying? You can't be trying. And if you are still trying, it's because you lack belief in the knowledge and the understanding that you have of what was given to you, what you received. So you truly don't respect it. You truly don't honor it. Because if you did, you'll put it into works and get the gifts, get the abundance, get the, you know, the life-giving water. You know? So there's individuals that don't give up. That is a great, a great skill to have. But when it's bound by fear, bound by pride, bound by greed, bound by envy, bound by every low vibration, unmoral, un damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. even that serious. But it's just that real, man. May God, be upon everybody's heart. May God, cast his judgment as he feel fit to all, not just the ones that feel that that they safe, but even them, because we sin unconsciously. Not one pure individual could say they never had a wicked thought pop up in their head, or a low vibration thought pop up in their head. No matter how you want to present yourself, even if you are 100% pure, which none of us are, but if you're able to call yourself that, that's because the grace of God has allowed you to profess that out your mouth. And at the same time, every day when you wake up, you kneel before Him. Throughout the day, you kneel before Him. At the end of the day, you kneel before Him. Her spirit, creation, self. And if you're not, don't don't be surprised on the surprises in your life, because you allowing them to be surprises. When you could speak your life, speak what you want in your life. When you could move in that direction, what you want in your life, truly want in your life, with no regards of anybody else. Truly. Nobody's going to get you there unless you get yourself there. And if you ain't getting yourself there, nobody's trying to help you get there. And the ones that ain't trying to help you get there, they ain't the right ones to get you called to be around you when you are there. Because the ones that are the ones to help you can get there, those are the ones that was there. And they deserve the glory, the respect of not the handout, but the reciprocation, you know, the even give and take of the situation to make you grow, to make them grow. So I also know that y'all been trying to attack my children, and if I didn't believe God has them covered as deeply as He has had me covered from the time that I didn't know and the time that I'm in. And I did that a long time ago. When they born and I'm praying, Lord, protect them as you protect me. Lord, I'm not in a situation to be able to really take care, really be there. But I would do everything to be there. So be there for me as you are for them, because I know and don't know what they will experience in this fucked up place. Which it ain't a fucked up place, but how a lot of us look at it through the shit that we experience, the shit that we are still going through. It's a fucked up place. And you're right from your outlook. But when you get more knowledge, more understanding of everything on your own, and also given by, you know, the Holy Spirit, God, all of creation, Jesus, you know, your all the light beings, all divine beings, all high vibrational beings, the archangels, regular angels, your heavenly Father, period, Heavenly Mother, period. All doors are open. All possibilities are good. All worries are collapsed and forgotten about because you know who leads you. You know who, even if you fail, it's a lesson to learn where you lack that to correct it. So you can move past that. It's no more of a failure. But if you know, take it as a failure and you run from it, you lose, not the failure. The failure did its job. The failure was to correct you on something that you was missing. You see that, you integrate that, you fix that. Whatever you was working on or doing is now prospering without you even trying because all the pieces are working like how it's supposed to be. You have learned what you needed to learn. You manage whatever you need to manage. You you know the ins and outs of what you need to do to keep it at float or in motion or in working condition. Either you could build upon it, you know, make it, you know, generate more, or you know, keep it the way it is and sustain, have it sustained. But I pray for all of us. Pray for my family. I pray for your family. I pray for your generations to come to be all enlightened, woken, and never experience what we experience. But for them to truly live in Eden, in heaven on earth, and then leave there here in peace, in rest, in glory, and go back to the heaven of heavens, and maybe come back down. Who knows? You know, it will be your decision and your heavenly Father's decision. But y'all will have to agree for the situation. So, right, but we all know he or she or spirit is God, and when it says jump, you better say out hard because you know it's consequences to pay. So you don't have to agree, but know that it comes with something. Just know that. All right? But we just too true to this shit, and there ain't nothing you can do. My abundance is already here. My counterpart is already here. My lifestyle is already here. It's just forming. And by the time you blink, y'all gonna be like, yo, what the, where the, how the, who the, it's magic. It's a miracle. It's whatever terminology you want to make it. But just know it will be the embodiment of who I'm truly am. The being, the sensation, the whatever you want to call me, you know. I'm that and then some, and then more of that. good or bad, because I am everything, and whatever you feel me to be, it's a reflection of you. So if I'm the devil, just know you the devil. If I'm an angel, know that you're an angel, and everything in between. I'm a slut, you a slut, and it's not, oh, what you say bounce off of me, sticks to you like glue. No, it's not the little kid shit. It's reality. Because how do you know what the next person is unless you actually are that person? And that's just facts. Think about this dumb shit. Because the answer wasn't dumb. I'm talking about the actions and the frame of mind of our so-called conniving, mysterious, trickster intellect. That the intellect part is the trick in itself. Tricksters, deceivers, liars don't have no intellect. They just dumb.